Greetings everyone and welcome back to the bench. Today I have a LED bulb teardown to perform to see why it failed. But before we get into that, a couple things I want to say. If you follow my channel for the amplifier project, well, I have the board all soldered together. All those videos, all that design work, starting to get down to a finished product now. But will it work? I still have to do some test leads. So in a upcoming video, I'll certainly take a look at that, see what's going on. There are a couple other videos I want to do in front of that one yet, but I'm getting stoked. We're getting to the point of a finished amplifier, something I wanted to do for a long time. The second thing I wanted to mention was the tornadoes that hit around here on Monday night. Had somebody ask me if I made it through okay, and yeah, no problem here. Didn't even lose power. But about 5 miles south of here is where the main tornado went through. It was a major storm system. It spawned a whole bunch of tornadoes that hit in different areas. But there was a large tornado that went through northern Dayton, Ohio. It was a very long path. It started in, I think, Brookville, several miles west of here. And it just followed a diagonal path and just wreaked havoc on homes and businesses. I can't imagine you're sitting at home and a storm comes through and just knocks everything out. Now you're without a home or heavy damage. Or, your business is damaged or destroyed. As I shoot this, it's several days later and still 30-some thousand people are without power. Electrical distribution and transmission systems were pretty badly damaged, and they have electrical crews in from all over working on the lines to get everything back online again. What is amazing, though, is there were no deaths from this tornado. There was one up in Salina, Ohio, from a tornado spawned out of the same storm system, but the big tornado, which they're saying was an EF4 now, as bad as the damage was, there weren't any deaths. There are a lot of injuries, but no deaths. That's pretty miraculous. They did set up a disaster relief fund, and I'm not rich, but I do have my Patreon supporters, and I said, well, I'll send them $25. If a lot of people send in, 10, 20, 25 or more, that would help all these people out. And what comes around goes around. If something like this happened to me, I would certainly hope that people would be there to support me. So I really do appreciate my Patreon supporters. Okay, so back on the subject here, I have an LED bulb to tear down. And if you watch my channel enough, it's kind of a common theme I do. I forget what bulb number I'm on now. Every time I get a LED bulb that fails, and I've even had people send them in, I'll bring them on the bench here, tear it down, see if I can determine what was the cause, what part failed that made the LED stop working. And though I'm primarily, I'd say 75% an audio type channel, I do like to do other things involving electronics or LEDs, something like that, just to keep things fresh. So here we go. This is a green watt 8 watt 5000 Kelvin, one of these BR30 style bulbs. Once again, it came from my parents' house. I don't know why I haven't had any LED bulbs fail here in my house. I did have that fixture, but I haven't lost any LED bulbs yet, and I certainly do use a lot of them. And I purposely leave a lot of them on running all the time, mainly just to test them and see how long they'll last. But my parents, they seem to lose a lot of LED bulbs. This one, though, I think it had a pretty long life. They had it in their kitchen in a recessed ceiling fixture. They put it in probably 4 years ago, and I know they use their kitchen lights a lot. So this has actually probably pretty good hours on it. But it did finally fail. So what I'm going to do is crack it open and see what happened. Well, this one was pretty easy to get in. I just grabbed onto this diffuser here and pulled on it and it popped right off. But I can see issues already. Look at that LED there. That one's darkened pretty bad. Looks like it kind of shorted out. This one's got some dark spots. There's one here. That one, let me see. There's a tiny dark spot. Some of those that are off to the side might be the protection diode. Sometimes they put diodes in the LEDs that protect from reverse currents because these LEDs are pretty static sensitive. So, I wonder if it was an LED that failed. So I'll see if I can still get a voltage on the driver output. Okay, I have the power turned on. Yep. See if I can get a measurement here. My fingers will be in the way, I'm sure, of the meter. Hang on a second. I'm blocking the light. But I don't see any sort of... make sure I'm getting a good connection. Nope. Not getting any output from the driver. So I need to go in further here and see what's going on with these LEDs. See if they're actually conductive or not, or if there's an open circuit, or if, maybe the LED opened up and caused the driver to fail. I don't know. Let's take a look at it. I had to scrape through this hard coating to get down to the copper, but check this out. Every LED on here is a dead short. Well, if I can get a good connection here. Yep, that's a dead short. Come down here. Dead short. I can just stay in that one position and go around because they're all dead shorts. I also tested by applying some power, see if I can make the LEDs light up, and nope, they're dead short. Sometimes LEDs will leak a little bit, but after a certain threshold they'll start conducting. But these are just totally whacked. They're shorted. So that does make me wonder if the driver is shot. I would say, well, if they're shorted, it probably killed the driver as well. Well, I got the bulb apart. Got these aluminum pieces, this aluminum bell, and this piece press fit on here where the LED board was contained. The driver was inside this. That's one thing I like about these BR style bulbs. Large amounts of aluminum compared to the A19 style bulbs. So for 8 watts, plenty of surface area to dissipate the heat. However, being in a recessed ceiling fixture, I'm sure the bulb still got pretty warm. Here is the driver board. That's a glob of hard epoxy material, I guess that is. You can kind of see through it. I don't see a chip. It seems to be a all discrete type driver. But what I did is I checked all the silicon on the board that I could. These 2 diodes are good. I'm getting normal readings by measuring the transistor here. Getting the 0.6 volt diode drops on the appropriate leads of the transistor. So that's good. The full bridge rectifier is good. Notice this capacitor, it blew the rubber plug out the bottom. It does have the little cuts in the aluminum, the top of the aluminum can here. As pressure builds up in the capacitor, it's supposed to swell up, and those cuts weaken it, so it bursts open and lets the pressure vent. But obviously it didn't work. It blew the plug out the bottom. So, what does that say? It is a SanCon. Yeah, some cheap brand. It almost looks stamped in. It doesn't look cut like, you know, the more common brands like Panasonic or Nichicon or whatever. This resistor is in series with one of the lead-in wires. Of course, it's a fusible type, and it is open. So something here drew enough current to open that resistor. But I'm surprised, though, that the transistor would measure good, though. That's the main output device. So there you have it on this one. I'm going to say that the LEDs, you know, eventually just failed on this and overloaded the driver. Could have been something wrong with the driver, but I've seen when these driver boards get overloaded, the heavy ripple current will overheat this capacitor and it'll, you know, blow open like this. So that's what I'm going to say failed. First, the LEDs shorted out and caused multiple failures on this driver board. So that's it for this LED teardown. Thanks for watching. This is ground zero tornado area. Like everything's destroyed. Now this place got damaged. There's a fire station, I think. This place is devastated. Probably have to turn around. This place is destroyed. This is blocked. I'm going to get turned around.